What up? Welcome to HaCK Prime, the only place you can find the journey of broken Bulkin. And you may be asking yourself, where have you been, HaCK? Well, that's what we're going to be here to discuss today. We have kind of been lost in the sauce. I don't know if you know, I don't want to call it depression, but I've definitely been in the slums of my mind, and I've been trying my damnedest to keep myself up. Kind of fell off for a little while there. If you've been following, you'll know that I was doing the 300 reps a day for 100 days. On day 90, you'll see that there's day 89. On day 90, I actually had an injury. I went to do normal routine. You know, we do the bubbles, then we do the weigh-in, and then we go do pull-up right before our mile. Well, when I go do the pull-up, pulled a little something up here in the in the lat, my upper lat, somewhere around this here area is what the doctor said. So I don't go to the doctor for nothing. You know, like it's got to be something serious. And that was one of those injuries where I was like, I better go check this out before it becomes worse, or I don't know why I can't lift. I don't know why I can't move right. So needless to say, I went to the doctor, checked me out, told me to chill out. All right. Like 6 weeks, no working out, no pulling movements specifically. But also while I was there, I discovered that I was having sinus issues. I got 2 nasal cavities on each side of your face above your nose, and then 3 like below your nose. And I found out that all of them are opaque when they took the MRI. That means they all got fluid in them. But also found out that the right eye, behind my right eyeball, my right orbital, where your eyeball is supposed to sit in that socket, I'm missing the back of my right orbital. So that tissue has now integrated with one of my sinus cavities, and that's another thing now on the list for the journey of broken to Bulkin. We're trying to figure out the breathing restriction, because when I went in for the arm issue, I said, hey, I'm having some issues breathing here and there. I was wondering if you could help me out. So the past 2-3 months, that's another part of this thing that I've been doing on my hiatus. I've been trying to figure out what exactly is the breathing issue. Sinus cavities, yeah. So we're trying to alleviate as much of the inflammation and trying to clear the way as much as we can with the Flonase, Zyrtec, just trying multiple things. I got to go see an allergist yet just to make sure that we can get everything under control. But the issue lies where that broken orbital is. The tissue behind my eye socket has now integrated into my sinus cavity, which is one of the worst sinus cavities on this side. It gives me a lot of labored breathing. I don't get as much oxygen as I should freely. And not only that, I also had a tracheotomy when I was in the accident. After the accident, the month-long coma, I had the tracheotomy. That's another restriction I have in my airway. So I'm finding all this out, not only with the injured lat, but also how my tracheotomy, or the trach, it doesn't, let me see how they say it doesn't open all the way is what it is. So when I try to, that's why it always sounds restricted. No matter what, it always sounds restricted. I'm gonna sound like a fat boy for the rest of my fucking life because of this shit. That's the lesser of 2 evils, because what they could do is they could loosen up my vocal cords and allow me to breathe freely, but then I risk getting liquid or solid down my esophagus into my windpipe. So the lesser of 2 evils would be to keep any free agents out of the lungs. We're going to keep only air in the lungs, no liquid, no foods. So the tracheotomy, the trach, that's where it's at. That's where we're standing. And then with the sinus cavities, we're going to try to, like I said, get all that taken care of, alleviate some of that pressure. They said if we start rooting up in there on this right side where the right orbital is broken, I could risk, potential loss of vision or control motor function of my right eye area. So that's why they want to get as much swelling down and as much of that other stuff under control as possible. So when I do inevitably have to have surgery up here, they want to make sure they have the best clarity that they can get. So that's where we're at right now. I did a sleep test study. I have another test to do for the allergist to make sure that there's no any outside entities causing said inflammation, even though we've already seen that it's the sinus tissue integrated with the eye socket tissue. And anyway, that's the whole thing. So we've been discovering that, what else? Where else have we been at? I got notes. Where have you been? Not only dealing with those medical issues, but I've been fighting a bit of depression, I guess you could say. I never thought I had depression, and you really don't know what the hell it looks like until you kind of have some hindsight. Why did I fall off? Why is it so hard for me to get back in gear? Why did I stop making protein shakes? Why did I stop recording? Why did I stop journaling? Like, it all just kind of came at once. It was the injury. I had some heavy news that I've been dealing with for the past over a year that just it came back up and just kind of took me down mentally for a while. So between the things going on in my personal life, which I don't want to speak too much on, just know that I'm going through some fucked up shit, and it's hard to keep my mind right. And then of course we got the sinus issues, and it's hard to breathe, man. It's hard to just take a breath. So that's an added stress on everything when you're just going through so much and all you want to do is just take a breath and relax, and you can't even literally take a fucking breath and relax. But needless to say, I've been keeping on using the Flonase, got the Zyrtec, I got an inhaler. The inhaler, the only thing that does is help open up the airways that are already inside my lungs so that I can get more oxygen per cubic inch. So between the medical issues, the depression situation, like I don't take any antidepressants. My antidepressant is knowing that I can keep on keeping on. My antidepressant is knowing that there's consistency over motivation. I have a goal. I have something to accomplish. And granted, I can be depressed, but I don't got time to wallow in that depression. I still need to keep things moving forward. Granted, even though I was out of the game for the past, month or two or whatever it's been, I stopped doing my nutrition plan. I stopped my protein. I stopped journaling. Like I said, I stopped all the things. But the one thing I did not stop is going to the gym. I maintained consistency with going to the gym. I was still there doing my daily mile. I was still there with my weighted vest, making sure I'm carrying heavy shit around the track. And that was one of the few things that was my saving grace, was because I kept moving forward. The ultimate goal in all of this is to eventually reach a strongman competition. If I blow up on YouTube or TikTok, whatever have you, cool. That's awesome along the way. But my ultimate goal is to at least get into an amateur strongman competition. So that's the one thing that I made sure I didn't lose sight of. Go work out, go push yourself, get hard. David Goggins style. Something that definitely helped was speaking. As you know, I do go to AAs. Usually on Sundays, I go to AA. I don't make it every Sunday, but I will say that vocalizing some of the issues that I've been going through, especially in a group that can relate, and even though it wasn't alcohol related to what I'm going through, it's a place that I can go where I can speak with like-minded individuals who have also been through messed up shit through their sobriety. Because when you're an addict and then you go through some fucked up shit and you're sober, yeah, naturally you want to go back to those things to numb the pain. But I'm on the other side of the fence where I'm going headfirst into emotions that I really never navigated through, on a sober plane. So just trying to keep the reformatting that I've done in my mind, I'm trying to make sure I keep it clear. Something that's also helped me come out of that shell, besides speaking about it with others, there's been this channel on YouTube called The Growth Paradox. I highly recommend The Growth Paradox on YouTube. If you find yourself in a slump, if you find yourself heavy with not having motivation, if you can't find yourself being consistent, if you're looking for self-discipline, I highly recommend you go check out The Growth Paradox. I had to listen to them for a straight week. Last week, I had listened to them for one whole week. I mean, I was in the car, headphones, at the gym, at home. I was listening to every video from The Growth Paradox that I could possibly listen to just to get my mind back on track. Because I was battling some fierce stuff up here, dude. And I having a really hard time spreading the positivity when you're weighted down by that much negativity. But the highs, the lows, and everywhere in between, I'm getting very good at managing. I'm having a great deal of self-awareness. And yeah, even though I stepped back for a while, I didn't lose myself. And now that I'm back on the uphill climb, coming back from that low, we're going to get things back in order. We're going to get things back together. And that's why I got to let you guys all know it's the journey of broken to Bulkin, mental and physical reformatting. Every day can't be your best day. And even though I tell you at the end of each damn episode, damn near to get up, get out, go do something positive for yourself, it's still hard for me at times. It is hard for me at times. Motivation's not always there, but consistency will be as long as you get up and go do it. Quit giving yourself some lame-ass excuses. What else we got? We're getting back on TikTok. I've been absent from TikTok for about a year or so. We've been posting back on TikTok, so if you want to check me out on there, HaCK is Prime. You can go follow me back on that as we're getting back in order, and we're getting our daily routine back in place, and we're getting our content in order. Gonna make sure we're posting not only on YouTube and Facebook, but also on TikTok as well. So you can check me out on that. And then, I also, in the past couple months, while I was going through these things in my head, I took ample time to start cleaning things up around the house, not only inside the house, but outside of my house as well, particularly because there was a lot of times where I was pulling up to the crib. You see the weeds overgrown, you see all the crap everywhere, you see just things that are just unorganized and not taken care of. And there's not even an excuse for it. You're just being lazy ass. I was being a lazy ass and not taking care of shit. Luckily, I had a homie come through and he helped get my, front yard together and in order. And then the woman, she's been taking care of the shit on the inside of the crib and getting that in order. And, slowly but surely, even though I felt so consumed, so fucking consumed, man. And from the time I woke up in the morning to take a piss till the time I forced myself to go to bed and through all the insomnia of the past 2 months or so, 3 months, I finally got out of the lows, and it's nice to come home and pull up to the crib and it looks fresh. Walk into the crib, it's fresh. And it's crazy to think how many of those things started seriously reflecting what I was going through in my mind. Even though I wasn't projecting them into the world, they were still manifesting around me. And then when that started happening, I started feeling the weight heavier and heavier. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to stop until you take action. It's not going to stop until you take action. It was a great deal of self-awareness. I had to sit down one day and 3, 2, 1, get it together. And as they say, lock in. If you go today you'll see that I posted like 3, 4, 5 videos. Bam, 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 back to back. You're getting your push-up checkpoints back. You're now going to get daily reflections every day out of the, daily reflection book. So we'll be getting the passages. We'll be getting for the mental mind. We'll be getting the push-up checkpoints for the physical. You got to get good. It's a journey of physical and mental reformatting, and it could be a journey for you too if you so choose. But I think we're going to be wrapping it up. That's about all I got. That's where I've been at. That's what I've been doing. I hope y'all been getting up, getting out, doing something positive for yourself, even on your most negative days, because it most certainly will keep you keeping on. You know what I mean? Jelly bean? Yeah? Anyway, get up, get out, go do something. Get up, get out, go do something positive for yourself. As always, much love to all our one. And I also want to say special shout out to the Panel Network. If you ain't checked them out, check out the Panel Network on YouTube, all right? They got something for everybody. Something for everybody. You like sneakers? They got you. You like entertainment? They got you. You like football? They got you. You like wrestling? They got you. I'm telling you, just go check out the Panel Network. Show some love. All right? And as always, much love. And to all our one. It's your boy HaCK.